Do you think the killer might have been hiding?
You spent all that time thinking just to say something so pointless. How disappointing. Didn't I just say there was nowhere to hide? Do I have to explain it in another language so you can understand?
Wait, I know where they were hiding. The surfboards.
Her personality got a hell of a lot more forceful once she stopped being a suspect.
No, there should have been a place for them to hide. A place you didn't look, Hiyoko.
What are you saying? Stop being annoying or I'm gonna make Akane bop you on the head and shut you up for good.
I don't really want that to happen to me. I need to answer by any means. The place the killer was hiding, the place where Hiyoko hasn't looked is... closet. They were hiding in the closet along with Hiyoko.
The killer was probably hiding in the closet.
The closet? That's where I was locked up!
After you woke up, you said you rushed out of there, right? And you probably didn't look inside the closet very carefully.
But could two people even hide in such a small place? And without Hiyoko knowing?
That's why the killer made sure to arrange a hiding place.
If the killer made sure to arrange a hiding place in advance, I can only think of one place. That's right. The place where the killer was hiding inside the closet was... surfboards.
What about the surfboard case in the closet? I'm pretty sure they could have hidden in there.
Huh? Inside the surfboard case?
But the shelf it was on, it was pretty messy, don't you think? Two surfboards were stacked on the top shelf. And there were surfboards that weren't even in a case. The killer probably did that on purpose to secure a hiding place. Because we haven't been on this island that long, so the closet shouldn't have been that messy, I think.
Then, the killer was close to me during that time?
Yeah, they were quietly holding their breath and hiding very close to you.
It's kinda like in for a penny, in for a pound, so to speak.
Don't you mean it's always darkest under the lighthouse?
I shouldn't say things I don't understand, like, so to speak.
Anyway, the killer hid silently, and after making sure Hiyoko left, they finally left the surfboard case.
I agree with that as well.
Seriously, nobody asked what you think.
There's no way the killer would leave Hiyoko by herself if they were trying to frame her. If Hiyoko was left alone and ruined the evidence the killer had planted, it would have messed up their plan. Instead, it makes more sense to think that the killer was hiding in the beach house, watching Hiyoko.
Say whatever you want, even if you didn't ask. Alright, if you don't want to friggin' get punched, just stand still and let me punch ya! Oh, you shut up. Then, grit your teeth.
Sorry, Akane. It's not like that. Hey, Monokuma. Can I ask you about something that seems strange to me?
I believe Prince Shotoku was from the future. A man from the future is always directing the flow of history.
I'll listen to your story about men from the future some other time. As I recall, the body discovery announcement is made when 3 or more people discover a body, right? Is the killer also included among those 3 or more people?
Yeah, that's true, but, well, something like that is basically what it's supposed to be.
You don't sound very articulate.
Jeez! You're pretty annoying for noticing something like that! I know it sounds like an excuse, but the body discovery announcement isn't supposed to be used for deduction. It's intended to create a fair trial. It's supposed to let everyone know a body has been found.
So you're saying it's unfortunate that I used it for deduction? I understand your excuse, but depending on who actually found the body, it's possible that your 3 or more people rule could be deadly.
Well, as long as I keep things ambiguous, I can respond to situations with some flexibility.
Flexibility, huh? So what about this time? Is it 3 people including the killer or not?
Jeez, fine. You want me to say it? It doesn't include the killer this time, okay? All done.
Which means 3 people other than the killer discovered Mahiru's body.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing. I just thought it was somewhat strange. More importantly, let's get back to our original topic.
You're the one who went on a tangent.
We were just saying the killer was hiding in the surfboard case, right?
And after Hyoko ran away, the killer got to enjoy the simple life of destroying evidence.
However, before we proceed any further, there's something we have to make clear. The killer blocked the roadside door with Mahiru's body before Hyoko ran away. But what about the blood?
Now that you mention it, that mystery hasn't been solved yet.
It's going to be alright. If you guys have come this far, I'm sure you can discover that answer too. Now, let's start the argument, shall we?
Now then, I shall explain to you the final feature in the non-stop debates. From this point forward, you will need to be able to use the truth flashback. If you hold down the left mouse button, the shape of the receptacle will change. If you aim at the remark's weak spot and keep it in that position, you will be able to memorize it. This memorized phrase can only be fired once as a single truth bullet. If you shoot or change to a different truth bullet, it will disappear from your truth cylinder. However, you can use this flashback feature as many times as you want. If you don't seem to have the answer to a lie or mistake in your available truth bullets, it might be wise to memorize a different weak spot and use that to make your case. When's the best time to use flashback? Well, you'll just have to trust in your keen wits, won't you? By the way, you will not be able to agree with anyone when you're using truth flashback. Please remember that is the only effective when refuting points. Well then, good luck and have fun. Alright. Shower room.
What did the killer do with the blood on their body?
Maybe they simply washed it off.
They couldn't use the shower, right? So washing it off would have been impossible.
They didn't have to use the shower.
Oh, what about the wetsuits in the closet? Maybe they wore one when they moved the body.
If they used something other than the shower...
What did they do with the bloody wetsuit?
They cut it up and whoosh.
As someone who flushes their shit every morning, I can declare it would definitely clog the toilet.
Maybe it's the other way around? Perhaps someone other than the killer moved the body?
Maybe they were able to wash it off.
If I use that person's opinion, I might be able to break through that contradiction.
What did the killer do with the blood on their body?
Maybe they simply washed it off.
They couldn't use the shower, right? So washing it off would have been impossible.
They used it other than the shower. They used something other than the shower.
If they just needed to wash off the blood, they didn't necessarily have to use the shower. They could have just as easily used something else.
Something other than the shower. Like what?
Something other than the shower was used to wash off the blood. It's possible it was the sea. No, if they walked down. Yeah.
Damn it!
Okay, I get it now. The drink's inside the refrigerator.
I see!
Drinks inside the refrigerator. Couldn't the killer have used those to wash off the blood?
I've seen through it.
Pecco! Hey! Hey, Pecco!
In theory, that's impossible.
Why?
Try to remember the refrigerator carefully.
And then you will understand that there's no possible way the drinks in the refrigerator were used.
Why? The bottle showdown.
It's true there were drinks in the beach house refrigerator. However, try thinking if one bottle drink wouldn't be enough to wash off the blood.
So threatening to cut me.
It's true there were drinks in the beach house refrigerator. However, try one bottle wouldn't be enough to wash off the blood.
I can't back down!
Cross swords. Wait, what was that?
It's true there were drinks in the beach house refrigerator. However, try one bottle wouldn't be enough to wash off the blood.
I can't back down!
Is this supposed to be O? Or what? Wait, hold on. How do I advance? Slash in any direction. Concentrate. Truth blade. Fire truth blade. Okay. I don't know.
It's true there were in the beach house refrigerator. However, try one bottle wouldn't be enough to wash off the blood.
I can't back down!
Okay, I had to just press and press and press.
We can't assume they used just one drink. They could have used a bunch of them to wash it off.
Didn't I say it was impossible? There were no water bottles. There were only flavored drinks. But if you use those to wash the blood won't come off and your body will leave an aromatic smell too. Especially if you use the water. That alone would raise suspicion.
Treat.
It's true there were in the beach house refrigerator. However, one bottle wouldn't be enough to wash off the blood.
I can't back down!
Come on. Okay, now I see what that was. That was a mouse.
Assume they used just one drink. They could have used a bunch of them to wash it off.
Didn't I say it was impossible? There were no water bottles in the refrigerator.
Allow me to cut through those words.
No water bottles in the refrigerator, but they were in the trash can.
Oh, there were water bottles inside the refrigerator.
How many times do I have to tell you? There were no water bottles in there whatsoever.
That was after the incident, right? But before the incident, there were water bottles in the fridge. And the killer took all of those water bottles and used them to wash the blood off their body.
So you're saying the water bottles were gone? Because they were all used? That's a logical fallacy.
It's not a fallacy. There should have been evidence inside the trash can. Evidence like a lot of thrown away plastic water bottles. Isn't that right, Chiaki?
Ah, you're right. These bottles look like they may have been filled with water.
Well, now that you mention it, when I went to the beach house a few days ago, I feel like I drank one of those plastic water bottles.
You should have said so sooner. Then, the plastic water bottles were used in place of a shower.
Dousing your body with lots of water bottles is such a simple and easy to understand explanation.
Hold on a sec. Now that I think about it, if they soaked their entire body with a bunch of plastic water bottles, if they did that, that person would be...
It seems you've realized who the killer is. See? Just as I thought.
Hold on. You know who the killer is?
Is that true?
Let me ask, who might that be?
the only person that was doused in water. If the killer used the plastic water bottles to wash off the blood that splattered onto them, that killer, Mahiru's killer, that must be that person. The only person that was covered in water. Peko
Peko, is it you?
Hey, what are you being quiet for? They're accusing you of being the killer.
Then I should ask you this. Why do you believe I'm the killer?
I remember when we were all meeting up to go to the beach. Your appearance when you came to the diner.
Hajime and Kazuichi, why are you two here? Hey, aren't you breathing pretty heavily? I just did a little swimming.
If the killer really did wash the blood off with water bottles, they'd have to drench their entire body. But there were no towels in the beach house, and it would have taken a while for the water to fully air dry. So you said you went swimming so you'd have a cover story.
Don't just stay silent! Say something! Hold on, you bastard! You saw her at the diner! You never saw her near the beach house, right? So maybe she really was swimming!
No one even saw her swimming.
No. I saw her.
Huh?
After I ran into you bastards at the diner, I crossed paths with her on my way home. So there's no doubt. She would have arrived at the diner from the opposite direction of the beach house.
Hold on. That's strange. Didn't you just say this earlier?
It's just a coincidence that I passed by the diner. I didn't even pay attention to the beach house. I went straight back to the hotel after I saw you guys. I didn't see anyone during that time.
You told me you didn't see anyone. Don't try to tell me you forgot about that.
Not so fast! It's too soon to decide she's a killer. We haven't established how the killer was able to leave the beach house.
Now that you mention it, you're right.
The roadside door was blocked. And if it's impossible to leave from the beachside without leaving footprints, then how the fuck did the killer escape?
Why are you all fired up, Fuyuhiko? You're not the suspect. Peko is.
Who cares about that? Answer me! If you have an explanation, then show me what you got!
We might have an answer.
Do you really? This mystery seems unsolvable.
Well, if Peko is the killer, then I might just have an answer to that mystery.
I see. Then let's hear this alleged method of escaping the beach house.
First, let's establish how the killer escaped.
Killer's escape route. I might know what that is. What it was. In fact, the only possible thing I can think of is that opening. Small window in the shower room.
I see!
If the roadside and beachside doors aren't an option, the only other thing I can think of is... well, nothing really. Except that small window in the shower room.
Huh. Don't you know how high that window is? There's no way Peko could have reached it.
But what if, for instance, she got help from someone?
She might have reached it by riding someone's shoulders, but then that person would have been left behind.
Is it possible an object was used? A rope, for instance?
And what happened to the rope after they used it? And don't say something stupid like they threw it outside.
Of course not! That would violate the school trip rule!
Littering is not allowed. Let us coexist with this island's bountiful nature and mutual prosperity.
Littering is prohibited. Even if it might be evidence, rules are still rules.
You see? There's no way they'd be able to escape from that window.
No, they just have to use an object.
Chiaki, don't fall asleep on us! We just said they couldn't use an object!
You did? I thought you were saying they couldn't dispose of an object. I see! You don't have to throw it away if you can just hide it somewhere on your body.
Huh? Pekka was wearing a swimsuit, remember? Where would she even hide an object? And if you say she hid it in her special place, I'll stab you in yours!
No! Please don't be violent!
That's actually true. Where would she have hidden it? Hidden something. If the killer used an object to escape out the window, they wouldn't have been able to get rid of it. So the only thing I can think of that the killer must have hid it somewhere. If that's the case, focus and think. The object the killer used to escape out the window.